For exercise 5 of chapter 6 value, you will be needing to use an image to create a mood with value. So in order to do that, as the example shows in the textbook, you will have two versions of the same image. So I did a file open, made my image the size that would fit inside my 957 by 596 default exercise document, and I did a copy and paste. So now I'm going to use a Control T. I'm not showing you how to do the copy and paste because there is a tutorial on how to open and how to bring in images. So I have that one in, and I'm going to commit. I'm going to duplicate the layer. There are several different ways. As always, there are a variety of different ways of doing the same task. So I just duplicated it, moved it over, can leave a little space between so I have a diptych. Right now both images have the exact same values, lights, darks in the same areas. So to create a mood, I'm going to make one in dark desaturated values and one more vibrant. So starting on this top layer, I'm going to use the quick select, and I will start with the background layer. So I'm going to push from the edges, pushing in, making sure I have the add to selection on the options bar. So I'm going to push from the corners in to get that selection. I have a little bit too much pushed in, so now I'm going to use the minus inside the frog to get that pushed out. That's close enough. Now I do see I don't have some area here that I want to add, so I can use that to just push out, making sure I have all the negative space. And now I'm going to go to Image, Adjust, Hue and Saturation. When this dialog window opens up, I'll move it over here so we can see it. I'm going to Colorize, staying within that green area. So now I've already had a little bit darker green. I'm going to reduce some of the color of some of those values so they're not as vibrant, and I'm going to make them a little bit darker. So I have already, and I'm going to hit OK. So I already changed the default values of the background. Now I'm going to do a select inverse to select the frog, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to Image, Adjust, Hue and Saturation, Colorize, get in my greens, and also you'll start to see a much more desaturated color. I'm going to maybe make it a little bit darker so the values are all desaturated and colorless. So I have that, Control D. Now I can go to my layer on the left, and I'm going to do the opposite but using the same techniques. Using the quick select, I'm going to click and drag from the edges. You see I'm dragging from the inside out. With the add to selection, I'm pushing. I have a little bit too much, so I'm going to do minus, push out from the inside to get these areas with a nice small brush. Too much, push in. Okay, there I kind of have it. So now I'm going to do the outside, but this time instead of going to Image, Adjust, Hue and Saturation, we're going to go to Vibrance because we're changing the mood. So I'm going to raise the vibrance and I'm going to raise the saturation. So I have a nice strong saturated vibrant negative space. Again, do select inverse, and I'm going to go to Image, Adjust, Vibrance. Remember, for the first shape I used hue and saturation. For the second one, because I want to create a different mood, I'm using vibrance. I'm going to raise the vibrance, raise the saturation so I have a nice bright color. So now I have two moods created. Excuse me, I should have Image, Adjust, should have hit OK. That's what happens when you're talking and not paying attention. So I'm going to hit OK, Control D. Now I have two different moods, one very light and bright, one very dark and somber. And that's how you do exercise 5 of chapter 6 value.